What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now today, I actually have some classic MW3 gameplay to show you guys, playing some free-for-all, and I'm actually squatting up with a bunch of you guys here. Every single Saturday, I do old-school Call of Duty streams, playing everything from Call of Duty 2 up to Black Ops 2. Sometimes we even dabble in the Jetpack COD, so if you guys want to partake in any of that stuff, or even see any of the other games that I play on the day-to-day basis throughout the whole week, whether it's Battlefield, more modern CODs like Vanguard or Black Ops Cold War, or even Halo Infinite. If you ever want to squat up, by all means, my lobbies are always open. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for quite some time, I've been going through my comment section and watching videos and just seeing people critique all of these games that are coming out current date. As we all know, gaming, especially in the FPS genre of things, has been extremely rough recently. I mean, I truly thought myself, last year going into this year, it would have been a good group of FPS games to play. You know, Call of Duty Vanguard, Halo Infinite, and 2042. It's been a long time since we've seen so many massive FPS giants release pretty much around the same exact time. You know, usually there's at least 1 to 2 years in between each title, besides Call of Duty, which is our yearly release for FPS games. But again, I was hopeful, and I was very positive that at least one of those projects would have landed and, you know, would have became successful. And here we are current day, all three, Halo, Battlefield, and Call of Duty, turned out to be flops. But one of the most frequent bits of feedback that I constantly see from the communities here is that they want some of these games to go free to play. And I'm guilty of this as well. But tons of individuals are saying, well, Battlefield 2042 released like crap and has absolutely no content, but if it was a free game, I want to be as mad right now. And I think for the longest time, this mindset was something that a lot of us thought about. Like I said, I'm guilty of this. For the longest time, I've been saying that Call of Duty should go free to play. You know, these $60 titles just make it more of a kick in the face to go ahead and purchase this and then find out that it's just absolute junk every single year. But if Call of Duty was free to play, then what can we complain about, right? You know, the game is free. You didn't have to pay a dime to get in, so there's no complaints that should be made. But this mindset is not valid anymore because we finally have proof of this concept on a AAA title, and that is Halo Infinite. After going through the cycle of Halo Infinite, I cannot believe how they are treating this franchise, something that is so iconic, something that is so loved, and something that is as big as the Halo name. You can literally just hum along to the soundtrack, and over half of the people in the same room as you will know exactly what you are talking about. That is how popular and big Halo is. And it is now completely downtrending and dying off as a game because they decided to make it free to play. That's literally the only reason why. The Halo Infinite campaign was phenomenal for a lot of individuals. People loved it. Yes, it had its fair share of critiques, but at the end of the day, it was overwhelmingly positive. But guess what? Halo Infinite had the $60 price tag on it. And sadly, it still didn't even release with co-op. But we're not talking about the campaign here. We're talking about multiplayer, something that, once again, has always been so iconic for the whole franchise. But they, 343, the developers, decided to separate the multiplayer from the campaign, make it its own free-to-play title, and allow people to just easily access the multiplayer, which at first when I heard the concept, I thought this was going to be absolutely phenomenal and would allow for more people to come in and try it out. But all this concept has proven to us is how quickly a game will die if it does go the free-to-play route. But once again, we don't process it like that. We see these games make all this money and we think that they should go free without thinking of the consequences and how much power and control we are giving the publishers and the developers when they finally do go ahead and make their titles free to play. That $60 price tag, as much as it sucks to have to go through the experience of knowing you spent that dollar amount on a game that's garbage, that is your only thing. That's all we have as the consumer to dangle over the developer's head if they do decide to release utter junk. If we don't have that $6 price tag to, you know, dingle over their heads and say, hey, look, we did this, we paid this, you know, you promised this, we want this now. If we don't have that, they can do anything they want. Because once again, like I said, we complain, they'll just say, well, you didn't pay anything for this game, you know, why does it matter what we do? Now, obviously, as a AAA team, they're not going to take that route because that's just going to be bad reputation, and it will definitely kill off the franchise 10 times quicker than just making it free to play in general. But making their games free to play is just the next step in this live service method bullcrap that is trending through all of these gaming development teams now, which allows the development teams to just be simply lazy. They don't have to put together full products. They don't have to give us any content. They don't have to do crap. All their main focus is making sure they have a reliable store that they make an income from. Now, again, Battlefield 2042, could you imagine if they acquired that free-to-play price tag, that free entry? The game would be absolutely crap right now. It's already bad enough as it is. But I guarantee the amount of updates, the amount of bug fixes, the amount of glitch fixes would not be anywhere close to what it is current date. And the store would already be implemented into the game and completely stuffed with content. But luckily, since we did pay $60, they still have not had the balls to go ahead and introduce a store, even though it's been found in, data mined. We don't know if it's going to be introduced or not. It's just, in the code now. But they haven't pulled the trigger yet, and that is because we paid money for it. Could you imagine the retaliation of the community if they said, oh, hey, we know that you spent $60+ on this game, and we know that it's absolute dog crap right now, but hey, look, there's a store worth thousands and thousands of dollars that you can go and spend all your hard-earned cash while we go ahead and do nothing and wait half a year to give you some content to play with. Halo Infinite would easily be my most played game right now if it had a replayable factor to it. I cannot sit there and continuously play it anymore unless it's ranked. Ranked is the only thing that gives me an incentive to play. And the homies don't even grind the game anymore like that, so I don't want to play solo ranked, so I just don't even bother playing the game. There used to be a day where you can hop on, just casually play Halo, because there's enough stuff to do in the game. Game modes, maps, you always had Forge to mess around with, co-op. The game was packed with things to come back to grind for and play. That's the whole point, but Halo Infinite has nothing. The campaign doesn't have co-op. There's no reason to come back and enjoy the title, which sucks because the game is actually fun. Out of all 3 AAA titles that released between COD, Battlefield, and Halo, Infinite released in the best state, performance-wise, bug-wise, server-wise, in my opinion. I know some other people had some problems, but server-wise as well, fantastic for me. The game runs great, but there's no reason for me to come back. I would much rather spend $6 on a game that feels good and has content compared to play a game that's completely free. That feels good, it plays great, but it has no content. I'd much rather spend the money because at least I know I'm getting a complete experience, and at least I know I'm going to get something that lasts me a while. And even if the game releases like utter crap like Battlefield 2042 did, we still have that price tag to dangle over them for as long as we possibly want, because we clearly know there's no Battlefield games coming in the near-time future at the moment. It's going to take a couple to a few years to cook up something at least half decent. So Battlefield 2042 is going to be here for a while. The community is not going to deal with this crap, trust me. It might not get fixed soon. I don't believe it'll get fixed in a year. I think it's going to take a year plus, but a year plus down the road, it will be something that's worth it, and it will get to a point where it will be worth $60. Maybe not to your traditional Battlefield fan who, really loves the hardcore Battlefield experience, because it does play really different from a traditional Battlefield game. But will it be worth money, with the quality of content in the game, the quality of the servers, everything just being polished off a year plus down the road? Yeah, it'll be worth some cash. But just think if the game was free to play. We would have no clue what is going on with Battlefield 2042, and I guarantee it would take twice the amount of time. It probably would have never gotten fixed to a point that we would want to see it. Free to play might sound good, and trust me, like I said before, I have fallen in the trap of thinking that free to play is the best alternative way of making games. But you just got to remember, nothing that's good is going to come free. At a certain point, it's always going to be a price tag. Even these indie-developed games that start off free-to-play, eventually down the road, if they turn out to be good indie-developed games and they actually, improve and become better, typically there's a price tag somewhere down the road that they will obtain. Even some of the most top-tier free-to-play games like WoW, for example, require some subscription services. There's always something that's going to cost you a little something to get good, reliable fun experiences. I mean, like right here, Modern Warfare 3. I paid $60 for this game at launch, right? I have played it since day one all the way up till current date. I rebought it again when I got a PC so I could play it on PC servers, and both purchases I never ever regretted. I still have friends who play Modern Warfare 3 on the classic Xbox. The game was worth the cash, and it lived on all these years. Honestly, I don't think I ever want to see a game free to play. But again, I want to see everybody's opinions because I know some people are going to have some good arguments on why games should be free to play. There's always two sides to the story. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. Mom, say hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.